Follow up on some of the most memorable tales of these real-life heroes and heroines who rose to life's challenges.
It was on October 29th, 1984, that people first introduced everyone to a brave child. We knew him as the Bubble Boy. He was born with a rare disease of the immune system, but David, and we never did learn his whole name, survived 12 years in a completely germ-free environment. Though sealed off from the rest of the world, he touched everyone.
He was a beautiful little boy. He had black hair, coal black hair, and big, impressive brown eyes.
Oh, he was a happy child, very happy, smart aleck.
Hi, Mom.
From the moment he was born, David was confined to a bubble. Despite that, his family tried to provide him with a normal childhood, even creating a one-student school for David in the bubble.
We're going to practice making our capital L and the lowercase l today. O-P-A-E. Very good.
David, you want to walk up and down the hall?
Using the technology that allowed astronauts to survive the hostile environment of outer space, NASA made David a special suit that allowed him to untether himself from his bubble, and for the first time he could explore the unfamiliar environment of his own home.
Just him being able to see the rest of the house was, for most people, wouldn't be a big deal, but to him, you know, it was.
David's only hope for a normal life was a bone marrow transplant. By the time he was 12, the operation was scientifically possible, but risky. David himself decided to take that risk. His sister Catherine, the only acceptable donor, agreed.
You know, my parents said, you don't have to do it. And I said, you know, that's not a choice for me. I'm going to do it.
How you doing, David?
All right.
Okay, Dave?
At first, things looked good. But soon it became clear that something was terribly wrong. David developed a cancer triggered by a virus contained in the bone marrow. There was no way to stop it.
When little David got sick, I felt guilty. I felt that since I was the one who gave him the bone marrow, I was the one who killed him, or who...
The last thing I remember, I walked over to the doctor and I said, may I remove my glove and touch him? And he said yes, and I did. And that was truly the only time I felt David's skin. He died shortly thereafter.
Now, meet Jerry Shorten, a little boy born with the same disease as David. But because of what was learned from David's life and death, the bone marrow transplant Jerry received from his sister Noelle freed him for a life outside the bubble.
He will survive, and he will be, you know, a very healthy baby. And when he's older, I will tell him more about David, and through David and Noelle, he has survived a disease that has taken so many lives.
Little David gave his life for strangers, and for me, that just says it all. He just was the bravest, strongest little boy that there was.
A quick sidebar to this story. David's mother, Carol Ann, wrote her son's story with People reporter Kent Demeret, and 3 years later, they were married.
The Boy in the Bubble is one of the 2 or 3 best love stories ever to run in People. Stay with us. There's more when we come back.
Coming up later, we'll flip through the pages of fashion history for 20 years of the best and worst and the most unbelievably dressed people.
Every time you think you're having a sense of humor, there is People magazine that's going to tell you you're on the worst best dressed list.
Next, who is the sexiest man alive?
I don't know. Am I?
Nick, Kevin, Tom, John Jr. Who did People readers vote for? Stay tuned. The sexiest man alive is next. People's 20th birthday is brought to you in part by Campbell's. Never underestimate the power of soup. By Lincoln Mercury and the complete line of 1994 Mercury automobiles. By Sears. Come see the softer side of Sears. And by Nexus Products Company.
I used to have dry hair. Then I gave it therapy. Nexus Therapy Shampoo.
Therapy, the Nexus moisturizing shampoo that makes dry hair soft and beautiful.
Soft, shiny, touchable. It's Nexus hair.
I used to have damaged hair. Then I fixed it with Carafix. Nexus Carafix.
Carafix Cream Reconstructor makes damaged hair silky and strong.
From damaged to beautiful. It's Nexus hair.
Did you know Campbell's has over 30 varieties of soup that are 98% fat-free? Which means just about every day you can look forward to a well-balanced meal with a different bowl of Campbell's soup. And the best part is, not only are they less than 90 calories, they're also delicious. So you're not missing anything, except fat.
So eat your heart out.
Finding the right spokesperson for Mercury wasn't easy at first. The famous basketball player, you know, the one who can jump so high, wanted too much money. The famous actress got a last-minute movie deal. The famous race car driver didn't have room on his uniform for our logo. And this guy? No. But then it hit us. Why not use real people? People like you and me. We'd let them drive the cars and experience firsthand the great Mercury ride in the fully equipped comfort. They'd be so impressed, they'd tell their friends, and their friends would tell their friends. And in the end, maybe we wouldn't need a famous spokesperson. Let the cars speak for themselves. Of course, all this and the quality of a Mercury.
Which famous couple would you say is the most romantic? Would you pick Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward? Maybe the President and Mrs. Reagan? Or Tom and Roseanne Arnold?
And what was your favorite TV show? Taxi, Cheers, maybe All in the Family?
And who's sexier? Would you say Nick Nolte or Tom Cruise or Mel Gibson?
To find the answers to these questions, people conducted a nationwide 20th anniversary poll.
And we'll get right to the poll with the burning question that's on everyone's mind. Who is the world's sexiest man?
So we might ask our collective selves, what's sexy?
If you want to know what sexy is, look at the cover of People. One surefire index of sex appeal is how many times they put someone on the cover. By that measure, Sylvester Stallone, Eddie Murphy, and Tom Selleck are the most desired males. They appeared 8 times each. Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, and Don Johnson were next with 7. The best-selling Sexiest Man issue featured JFK Jr.
John F. Kennedy Jr. Now, there is a specimen of manhood.
What do these sexy guys have going for them? There are those old flames for whom we will always carry a torch.
For me, still, this man, Sean Connery. I don't see anybody really taking his place.
He's very masculine and sensual, and yet there's a gentleness to him. So I think that through the years, he has just been the sexiest guy. It's hard to be articulate about attraction, isn't it? I guess I would choose Nick Nolte, who happens to be gorgeous, symmetrical, and perfect.
I get attracted to power. I like Lee Iacocca.
Then again, ever since Rudolph Valentino, there's always been a dark, intense Latin look that just melts hearts. In the 70s, it was okay for guys to be sensitive, and in the 90s, funny became a turn-on.
You don't want a guy with the brain of a food processor, you know. I mean, who just looks great.
Actually, if you're funny, you're sexy.